Is it possible to have a good and beautiful death? My name is Heather. I am a hospice nurse and end-of-life doula, and I took care of my mom who died here at home last year. First of all, people may hear beautiful death and go, what is she talking about? You can't have beauty and death in the same sentence. I disagree. I don't believe that there is one way to die. I think my idea of a good way or beautiful way to die is going to be different from the person next to me or the person beyond that, and that's okay. But I'm going to give examples from what happened to my mom leading up to her death that made it heartbreaking but beautiful. So about a week and a half to 2 weeks before she died, she really began to struggle with swallowing. She had had swallowing issues for the previous year where she would choke at times, but there was a shift. And so I tried to give her a lot of her favorite foods. She wasn't able to swallow them. She was coughing. She was uncomfortable. And so I thought about it and realized Thanksgiving is her favorite meal. So my brother, who lives in a different state, he came down, and at the end of June last year, we found all the fixings. We made pumpkin pie, we made cranberry salad, we had everything. And we all sat down together and we made it a celebration. And we had Thanksgiving together at the end of June. I had to help feed my mom. She had one bite of every single dish. And when I asked her afterwards how it was, she said, perfect. And that was it. So a couple days later, she became unresponsive. She ended up being unresponsive for 4 days before she died. During that time, my brother, my husband, and I all kind of rallied around her, and we made it kind of a celebration in a way that was right for us. Sometimes we turned on opera for my mom. She loved opera, so we turned on opera and made the environment a little quiet. And then sometimes my brother and I would watch a ridiculously silly comedy, or we would watch Family Guy, and we would be laughing. And sometimes I would lay down next to mom in her hospital bed. The dogs, my dog, her dog, were both in bed with her at times. In fact, her dog sat vigil with her the entire time. That dog we could barely drag her out to go to the bathroom. For our family, this was beautiful. We cried, we held her hands, we told funny stories. We relished the moments that we had. We were so sad that we knew she was getting ready to leave us. So it was heartbreaking, but it was good. And at the end of the day, my brother and I were there with her holding each hand. It was a good death. Heartbreaking, but beautiful. We don't always have the option to determine how we want to live towards end of life. But hospice, end-of-life doulas, their goals are to help people maximize that time for what is right for them, so that you and your family, if you go through this or when you go through this, can also have a beautiful death.